dude?
What is going on?
Wow, I love that intro, dude.
Dude, we got all the new shit. We're so
digging it.
Dude, absolutely. Thank you. Happy, what fucking day is this? Sunday, Industry Night. Welcome
Sunday.
everyone. We bumped up a little bit to make sure that we're on point for everybody. We are the Resoluters. I am Mark Jeske. This is Master Jedi Jeff Coy. And we are coming to you with our 90-day body transformation challenge. So you may have figured out from the intro, we got a few points and topics we're going to touch on today. And so there we go.
Yeah.
How are you? Cheers.
Doing great, dude. Cheers.
Reggie says hello.
Howdy, Reggie.
Yeah.
I don't have any water with me, but cheers to you, Reggie.
Oh man, we gotta get some water. Get the boy on that. You got the boy's birthday going on.
Good
over there,
point.
right?
Yes, we do. We had the boy's birthday going on over here. Connor, could you grab me a water? Thanks, buddy.
There you go. Put that kid to work before he starts out burping everybody.
That's right.
On this podcast.
Yeah, he's going to too. You watch him.
I was embarrassed. I was like, Jesus Christ, that kid's out of control. And that was on a bad day. It wasn't even.
Yeah. Yeah. He only did like 40.
Oh yeah. No big deal. So here we are, the Resoluters.
Yes, sir.
Welcome back to the podcast, everybody. We're going to jump right into questions from our wonderful guests, and thank you to everyone for your support for the show.
Yes, thank you.
We're happy to bring to you, or Jeff, jump in anytime. What you got to do? I'm just saying that chipping in, the amount of support we've gotten even just over this past week has been tremendous. So yeah, it's been really nice. How are things in your neck of the woods?
Doing really well, man. Doing really well. We're getting ready to go on vacation this week. Just excited about that.
Oh,
Today's
my
son's birthday party. Yeah.
No, how old's the boy? How old's the boy?
He is 8 years old.
8 years. That was a good year. Third grade was a good year.
It was a good year. Eight is great. Is what he said.
I love it.
8 is great.
He's chiming in. That's awesome. That's awesome.
How about you, dude? What's going on?
Oh man, I'm just doing the grind. I did a close open, so worked the late shift last night, which rocked. Got in this morning, got some more work, hired some people, did the whole grind of it, and then jumped back into the swing of things. Wanted to be on point for this, so drinking some coffee with Reggie. Getting things dialed in. But I got some good news to report for the week.
I like that.
Which is good. So
good.
Get to that in a little bit. So tonight we're going to be digging in here in a little bit for those of you viewing at home, and we're going to get through some good morning routines as far as stretching and a few other tips as far as that goes. We're going to talk about our featured vitamins / supplement of the night, as well as Jeff's going to walk us through a really great app, mental health, wellness, reducing stress, that kind of stuff. Jeff's got a great app he's going to walk us through. And then for the upcoming week, progress report, that kind of stuff. Members we have to welcome as well. That might be a good thing to load to everyone. So we'll get that off. And I don't know, Jeff, do you want to kick off with the old questions?
Absolutely,
I got a few. We'll jump in.
Yeah. First off, are we live? Just making sure, because I just hopped on Resoluters on Facebook.
All right.
Just trying to see if we're live.
Let's check all the tabs. We should be.
Make sure.
Okay, I will share it over into the group if I need to. We should be good for YouTube and Facebook at the moment, unless we're early.
Sure. So it says Sunday, November 20th at 9 p.m. Anybody in the chat? Are you seeing us? Let me know on the chat, on the Restream chat if you're there. All right, but I'll go ahead and start with the first question while we're doing this.
All right.
Our first question. Perfect. So our first question comes from April Gentile, a new friend of the show, a new subscriber to the show. Thank you for joining, April. We appreciate you being with us. April says, I'm trying to get healthy, and I've heard this acronym before called MOPS. Can you tell me what this means? That's a great question, April. MOPS is an acronym for a daily routine or a daily intake that you should have. And MOPS stands for multivitamins, is the M. O is omegas, so you should have omegas. P is for probiotics, and S is for superfoods. You should have one of each of those every single day, and that's the best way to know that you're getting the right kind of health in your system every single day. MOPS, multivitamins, omegas, probiotics, and superfoods. And for those of you that don't know, multivitamins is your overall health. Omegas is good for your brain. They're antioxidants, good for you all around. Your probiotics is good for your belly and gut health, and superfoods is good for wellness, health and wellness, keeping you well and not sick. Excellent question.
Awesome. Fantastic. Jeff, just to get back to you, I am confirmed. We are live on YouTube. I am making sure that we are
Dig
live
it.
on other places. Facebook seems to be having its own little what have you. But I think
As
we
usual.
are. Yeah, and they've been a 50-50 shot recently. All right.
Oh, wait.
Gonna...
I think we're in. Oh, okay. So I click the event and it goes right to YouTube.
Excellent, which is good.
That's where we want to be. That's it. Oh, let me mute this sucker. There we go.
Okay, so YouTube's a win. I think we're a win on Facebook right now.
Yeah.
And we should be good. GEUX to go. All right. Sweet. Okay. Awesome. All right. So let's kick off to the next thing. What do we got? From Santana alumni, Janine Priester.
Oh, Janine, we love you.
Yeah, what's up, Janine? What's up, baby? Hello to the world. Recommend for good maintenance cardio for 40 plus. Okay, 40 plus, I'm going to go hands down. I'm going to go the elliptical. Elliptical, I think, is the big win. Low impact on the knees. Still get the same benefit like if you were running. You get a lot of stretching, secondary benefits going on there. So elliptical, that's my vote. That's what do you think, Jeff? You got a thing? You got a
for over
something
40?
else to chime in?
Yeah, basically it's all about cardio health. Back in the day when we used to be in our 20s and 30s and teens, we were all about lifting weights. I was still about lifting weights, and I'm still about lifting weights. But coming into my 40s and almost into my 50s, it's definitely about the cardio. So definitely and the elliptical is one of the best. If you can't get outside and walk, if you can't do that, you're in an area, maybe there's snow, maybe there's rain a lot, maybe it's too hot. Either way, go to the gym, get on an elliptical. Definitely the elliptical. I'm not really one to do the bikes or the treadmill. The elliptical is good because it works. Pretty much everything works. Your glutes, works your legs, works your arms while you're going. It's just like walking, I think.
Boom. Amen. I feel like we're solid on YouTube, but I feel like we're post is alive on Facebook, but it's not in the two.
Yeah.
All right.
It's
so
okay.
I'm trying to.
Because I clicked on the event and it took me right here.
It took you to YouTube?
Took me to YouTube when I clicked on it.
Okay. Well, it should, but previously we were able to live stream to Facebook as well. So let's do this. When I click on this button, so I got a thing. Oh, hey. Restream. They're unable to connect to Facebook. So let's give that another try.
Okay.
All right. All right. So it's Restream that's having the difficulty, but at least we're live on YouTube. We'll do what we can. People might click the link to get in here. But
yeah, you just said, here we go, share the link, and it takes you right to YouTube. But yeah, it won't show it right on YouTube.
Yeah, I'm looking into the whole chapter of what happens here. And like YouTube seems to be working properly from what I can see here on the screen, but Facebook's giving us some pushback to the old what have you. Anyway,
Give some
we'll keep
light.
moving, and we'll see if I can touch base in this and get this thing in the right spot here in just a second. All right, so
Perfect.
next. All right, so from my
So,
daughter.
yeah.
Oh wait. Did you have? Wait, you have one. You have one.
I answered yours.
Oh, okay, yeah. So you're in. You're in. Do your thing.
Perfect. Perfect. Sorry, let me pull this up real quick. This one comes from Joe Childers, who happens to be my stepbrother, Joe. Joe asks, and I just lost it. Skipping breakfast. You guys seem to be arguing about this. There's pros and cons for both. What is the answer? Well, it's really up to you and your body, Joe. For me, I like breakfast. I like getting the energy in the morning. I tried fasting in the morning, and I can usually get till about noon or 1 before I'm like starving. And unfortunately, when that happens, I'll just start eating whatever I can get my hands on, whether it be good or bad. At that point, if I can only get my hands on a candy bar, I'm grabbing a candy bar because I'm starving. For me, I like to start my morning off with a nice breakfast, be it something that I know is healthy. I usually have some fruits, maybe one of my shakes, my protein shakes, which, though, this week I've been skipping the breakfast shakes and having them at night before I go to bed. So when I come home from work, I'm usually pretty hungry. And instead of grabbing food from the fridge and eating it, I'm making myself a shake and getting that nourishment into me about an hour before I go to bed, hour or two before I go to bed, or before I go to sleep. So, but breakfast for me, fiber, something fibrous, something that'll clean your system out, get you motivated, some energy. Nothing like sugary, nothing sweet except for fruits, really. But try to avoid those if you can. Mark,
Solid.
I know you're anti-breakfast.
Well, I think we're on just the same track, but a little different time frame. It's I think for me more about holding together that intermittent fasting time. I work a little bit of a later day. You and I are both on the night shift, where 1 o'clock being your first meal might be better for me. 3 o'clock is usually better for my first meal, because the last thing I'm going to eat is probably around 9:30 ish. So keeping it within that 6 hour time frame. Worst case scenario, I get home midnight ish, and then I'll jump into having a light snack to even out the day. But as far as major meals, everything is consumed between 3 and 9.
Yeah.
Sparks on our our tagline for tonight's show, which is Industry Night. And for those of us that work those late night shifts, whether it's hospitality or service like you're doing with Pepsi, I think that all kind of carries over to have maybe some atypical schedules and how that helps out. So I think we're close to the same boat. It's just different times of day.
Close to the same. Yeah.
Yeah. If I knew I had to get up and work an early shift, and I know for me going to work can have to be rather physical. So I know even though I had a late shift last night, going early today, I had my first bite. I don't know, probably around 1 o'clock, like you're doing.
Yeah.
It was probably closer to that because I had to get some fuel in the system for the rest of the day. So yeah, it's just time of day.
That's a big thing.
Yeah. When do you need that energy?
Yeah, for me, if I try to get to 3 p.m., I'm usually grumpy by 3 p.m.
Hangry is no way to be at work. I mean, if you're in charge, people might just get extra motivated. Like, fuck, man, get him a sandwich. But otherwise,
somebody get this guy something. Yeah.
Yeah. So I got you. All right. So from my daughter, Alexandra Jeske from Prescott, Arizona. Kids at home, make sure you pronounce Prescott properly.
Prescott.
You call it Prescott.
Nope. That's a city in Arizona.
You clearly have never visited. You were going to come. So, what are some good time management tips to be fit when you have a new baby?
Great question.
I gotta say, women who have recently given birth have the best weight loss of all time. It's called breastfeeding. So, dude, if you're a woman and you've recently given birth, that kid is just gonna absorb every Jack in a Box burger, every Wiener Schnitzel corn dog. Pick the most horrific nacho consumption thing that you put together, and that kid's just going to work you dry. So you're in a good spot. Keep breastfeeding, and then once those kids are bustling around like my young grandson is in his new stroller, he's rocking it. He's doing good. You're just going to be chasing them all day anyway. So those are going to be the things that gets you back into shape on the fly or keeps you in shape and so on, depending upon what your routine is. My daughter is she's pretty militant in her workout routine, so
Yeah.
she's been to the envy of many of her peers that are moms too. But the breastfeeding's the shortcut as far as that stuff goes.
Dig it. Dig it.
Well,
All right.
back.
All right. Well, this one comes from another classmate of ours, Jennifer Berg. Does anybody remember Jennifer Berg?
Jennifer! Oh my God,
Talented.
with the red hair. Oh my God,
red hair.
Such a beautiful singing voice.
She was amazing. And Jennifer said, "I know I'm supposed to eat, but how do I keep eating what I enjoy?" And Jennifer, basically, you just need to watch what you eat. I mean, eat what you enjoy, really. I mean, there's nothing that says you can't have a piece of cake. There's nothing that says you can't have candy, but you do need to balance your life with and do mostly good food. Every now and then, have that cheat day. Have yourself a piece of cake. Have yourself a cookie, a snack, something that's not so good. Feel like you're cheating the system. But for the most part, the rest of the time should just focus on eating right, eating what's right.
Very cool.
What do you say?
No, I don't disagree with you at all. I think that's a good thing. Moderation, planning those things out, and there is, I think, a kind of a natural science to that. Is like if you have a craving for a certain thing, because your body, there's going to be a pattern and a period of time where in the beginning phase of some workouts that perhaps that you might be in that moment where, what was I say? There you go. Dun, 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 dun. I was looking for a button. There you go. What I was trying to say was that when you're fighting insulin resistance, like in the beginning of that, hold back on certain things. But you want to be able to, I think Jeff gave a great example of that last episode where he talked about gradually cutting yourself off of certain things. You are going to have those natural cravings when you've been eating a certain way and you're changing your routine, but gradually working into that. But I would say measure it. Make sure you're documenting those things so you can chart your progress, be conscious of it, and then get to that point where, maybe 2-3 weeks out, you're like, yeah, maybe I have a candy bar once a week instead of every day, or I don't drink Diet Coke anymore after 2 or 3 weeks, those kinds of things.
Exactly. And I was just going to bring that up too. The fact that we talked about it last week, getting off of alcohol, is the same thing. Just make sure that you're gradually, don't cut it cold turkey. Don't cut it cold turkey because it probably won't work, but gradually get off of it and charge yourself and challenge yourself to get off of it a little bit more each time.
I concur.
Great job, Jennifer. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And you just pick it up also as you're making these gradual steps. Don't beat yourself up like it's end all be all. Gotta do it because I'm grinding. Whatever. Make sure you or you look ahead to a particular day and you're like, okay, I'm gonna have a beer or I'm gonna have some fucking chili cheese fries or whatever that is.
Chili cheese fries.
Because dude, right? Absolutely. But it's it's a mental game, and when to get your mind in the right place and you adapt new routines, everything else comes so much easier afterwards. That's good.
100%.
All right. So okay, that was Jennifer Berg. We got Jason Gassert from the great state of Maryland. Which congratulations to you, Jason, on your new promotion and job and your new car. This is one of my hospitality Padawans that I'm very proud of. So, Jason, if you're watching, I'm very proud of you and thank you for tuning in.
Nicely done.
Yeah, man, he's really kicking some ass. So he's asking, what are some good tips to help with bloating? Based on diet. I'm chiming in talking about eliminating gluten. All right, gluten for everybody, even more expressed as you get little. Jason's not as old or long in the tooth as you and I, Jeff, but he's working on it.
Dad, Daddy.
Number one, Monkey IPA for those back in the Maryland days. You remember those days. And number two, really just work on minimizing your bread and pasta, starchy foods like French fries, mashed potatoes, those kinds of things. You have protein enriched items, or like when we talk about with using the super shake with plantains, there's plenty of fiber rich items that you can put into your diet that will be more satiating to offset those cravings for that gluten fullness feeling that you have in your body. So, yeah, skip the beer and eliminate the bread and pasta. And also, just to throw a shout out to Jason, I think I've lost count of the days, but I think Jason has been a great resource for the people in his life and to stop drinking. I think Jason is on a point of about 3 to 4 years of being alcohol free. So, Jason, to all of your success and your need focused on your life. That's fantastic. Proud of you, buddy.
That's outstanding. Good job, dude. I know, man. Very nice. All right. My next question comes from a Jason as well. Mine comes from Jason Nelson in the great state of Arizona.
What's up, Bucky?
Bucky. If you don't know Bucky, that's what she said.
Wow.
There it is.
The answer is 5.
The answer is 5. So Bucky asks, how many calories should I eat a day? Well, Bucky, that factor depends on your age, your weight, your level of physical activity, your height. I mean, there's a lot of factors that go into how many calories. But generally, if we're talking about the average human being, adult women should eat anywhere between 1,600 to 2,400 calories a day. And adult men should be having about between 2,000 and 3,000. But again, don't take that as that's how many I need to eat. That's just based on the average person. So somebody like me who's trying to lose weight, I'm probably not going to be pounding 3,000 calories a day. I'm not going to be doing it. Whereas somebody like my son who may be trying to go into football or something like that is going to be pounding about 3,000 plus calories a day. When he gets a little bit older, he gets into football, God willing. But also make sure that you're not only watching your calories, but watch your serving sizes on things. Make sure you read those nutrient boxes. You go to a Wendy's or something like that and grab their supersized meal. You're probably eating 3,000 calories right there, at least 2,400 calories in one serving. So watch your serving sizes. When you grab a package of food, look at how many servings it has in that, because you may see that it only has 200 calories, but all of a sudden it's 10 servings, and you can go through the whole box, and then all of a sudden you got 2,000 calories in your system because you didn't look at the serving sizes. So always check your serving sizes on your packages, and then watch for the calories. It's nice that they put these at the restaurants now that you can actually see how many calories you are intaking of that stuff, because Lord knows if I had known how many calories before when they didn't do this, when I'd go to Wendy's or McDonald's or Burger King every single night and just mac down on Big Macs and everything, I might have had a different story of my life.
Heard that. Yeah, those things aren't always obvious. You got to pay attention to that. The processed food story as well. When you think of, regardless of the caloric content of some of this stuff, there's a lot of nutrients that are missing from fast foods or processed foods in general. So worst case scenario, you may end up really still being hungry after eating what should be enough calories for you, because of proper food groups and things that your body is actually craving when you eat those things. So yeah, crib notes on that. I would go, if you're going to Jack in a Box, monster tacos. All right, so you're protein heavy, less gluten. You still got the dairy, but monster tacos. McDonald's, double cheeseburgers, fat and protein, yes, but fewer carbs.
The funny
This right out of the cheat codes for fast food.
The funny thing, Amber taught me actually this. when she goes to Jersey Mike's, she said, because I always get a giant sub. I get a giant, and I try to save half for now, half for later. And she goes, you could cut down on that bread if you just tell them you want a giant sub, but stuff it into a half size sub, so you get half the bread, but it'll take double the meat.
That's smart. That's smart.
So I'm paying for the giant, but it's actually turning into a half where I'm getting double the protein and half the bread. So I said that was pretty
good.
crazy.
I try to do the double meats when I go to a sub place like that. I haven't been for a minute, but it is difficult when there's so much of the flavor that's associated with the bread. Subway, I don't know what happened to Subway. I think Subway crapped the bed. They used to have this delicious bread, and now it's shit. Yeah.
Yep,
I feel like I'm listening to that song, Faith No More, except instead of the real lyrics, they're saying, it's shit.
It's shit. What is shit?
This? You didn't skip a beat. You knew exactly what I was talking about. I lost track. Where are we at? You got a question? Do I got a question?
No, that was my question. That was actually my last question.
Oh, shit. All right.
What do you got? 2 more?
So, okay. Yeah, I got 2 more. Okay, so from my nephew in the great state of Arizona, I have Christopher Kretovics, really just taking over for Ray Clark tonight. His question is, how would you battle an addiction to chronic?
God. Can you give me some info?
I'm saying don't. Just give into it. Just knock yourself out. Just like make. But comes over your house unannounced.
It works your forearms, buddy.
Yeah, man. Just tell him, don't touch my socks. You're gonna be fine.
You got cardio going on. You got weight loss. You got working your forearms, your wrists, your hands, grip. Go for it, dude.
Yeah, maybe a little extra ring in the eyes if you do it well. But it's just like good guy. Thanks, Chris.
Work on your breathing. That's what Chris.
I look forward to. I completely into the Calm app later.
There you go. There it is.
For your phone for you. All right. Did you say you were tapped out?
I'm tapped out, dude. My other question, you actually answered with over 40.
Oh, okay.
It was pretty much the same exact thing. Mine was over 50, though. It's pretty funny.
All right. All right. Last one I got from Magali Mendoza in the great state of Texas. So what's an activity you'd recommend that she could do with her dogs to help stay fit? And so I think just going on runs. There's a lot of obstacle course kind of stuff. We can competitive. It's kind of fun when you live in a big city. So, yeah, obstacle courses and going on runs. Yeah, I know Magali does a lot of great work with rescues for pups. So you got to keep those puppies moving. They got a lot of high energy and that kind of stuff. So
if you're out here in San Diego, we have a place called Dog Beach where you can take your dog down there and work out with your dog. It's nice to go running on the beach.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Go running on the beach with your puppies and get a workout in for yourself and your dog.
Yeah, that's very cool. I love it. You got cats. That's a different kind of workout. All right, but
it's a different workout. Chronic masturbation.
Yeah, or otherwise known as rowing. But
it's good stuff, man.
This is probably why we're not live on Facebook.
Good thing I'm in the background. I have an 8-year-old birthday party going on.
Hey,
they're probably looking over here going. They're going. Is this a workout?
That was your son couldn't have timed that better. Oh, holy shit.
Good times.
Yeah. All right. So we got that covered. And we're gonna segue real quick. We're gonna oh my god, let's try to get fucking serious. Get my
Let's do this.
shit back together. Oh, it sounded like you were motorboating. I'm having a problem. Oh. What's up, kids? How y'all doing?
9:30. That is 9:30.
It is 9:30. Let me finish this, bud.
It is
You know
nice.
how I knew? My watch.
We did. You got them on point. Okay, so feature of the evening is called a vitamin called turmeric curcumin. Now, this is a wonderful supplement, and this is part of our eastern side of the East meets West when we talk about our plan, which really is the one health dynamic turmeric curcumin with ginger root as well as black pepper. Now, system support and digestive comfort, but both of these items help facilitate the absorption rate of the turmeric curcumin. Number one element of why this supplement is so important is it fights inflammation in your body. Inflammation can contribute to a lack of or contribute to insulin. So if you're looking for weight loss in your chemistry, you do want to be able to reduce inflammation to be able to move this important turmeric curcumin can help with this. In fact, even beyond weight loss is the concept that this reduced inflammation is a great balancing bat against the way cancer can affect your. If you do have a processed food, meats, and so on and so forth, any of those things that can really contribute to getting a root hold in your body, or turmeric curcumin is one of those things that can fight against that. Now, manning in your body is great for fighting cancer, but also if that inflammation can never reach a certain level, even if you have difficult for that cancer to grow past a certain point. Now, not to say this is a cure-all, and then if you're having a hard time with cancer, this is going to change the world. It's not, snake oil or something off the bat of a cart. But I'm just saying that like this kind of stuff, well, early on will create an environment within your body that is inhospitable to cancer, which is kind of a good thing. If it doesn't home in your body, it really can't take root, and you're going to be a good place. Let me see if I can actually pull up the link that I put together for this. Just I want to put it in the that you and I have show. It's on Amazon for any particular reason whatsoever. It's just for convenience. Where's this thing? Oh, there it is. Open up. But the one that I'm talking about is from Stonehenge Health Dynamic. These guys are pretty solid, and I think what the winning aspect is of this particular brand of turmeric is that there is it's a vegan capsule, and there's no synthetic fillers, so you don't have to worry about any kind of chemicals and that kind of stuff making its way into your system. So okay, I got the link in the chat if y'all need that for any reason.
Yep.
And I think we're solid with that. Yeah, so you can find some decent turmeric products on the market, but this one has gone through a lot of peer review as being solid. And again, absorption rate is an important factor because, like taking any vitamin, supplement, etc., no matter how much you take, if it's presented to you in, we'll say, a cheaper fashion, to where your body has a harder time absorbing it, 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C, but it's presented to you in a poorly produced way, your body's not going to absorb 1,000 milligrams. You won't get the benefit of what you're looking for. So, for example, vegan capsules and capsules that are not wrapped in plastic by any means are much And that
100%.
is our featured supplement of the week.
Dig it.
Yeah, me too. I honestly, it is one of those few supplements where I can say that I can feel the difference when it's in my system, which is
Yeah.
great. Yeah. Now, we've been chatting for a little bit. I think more about this season than about mental health and
Mm-hmm.
work-life balance and stress. I think Jeff, as you and I have encountered those things through the first 90-day transformation challenge, the significance of those things as it really kind of parlayed into our challenges and whatnot with our program. It became even more and more important. So Jeff came across an app that was introduced to him by a family member. Um, I'm going to turn this over to Jeff and let him walk you through what we're talking about.
Absolutely. Thanks, Mark. So, those of you who know me, when I was at my heaviest, when I was over 270 pounds and I was at my heaviest and I was in a depressive state and I was eating a lot of junk and I was doing a lot of things, one of the main things I really had was panic attacks and anxiety attacks. That was a big thing on me. And that, with my asthma, really compounded when I would start stressing and panicking. And then my asthma would start kicking in. I actually went to the hospital once, having an asthma attack, not being able to breathe because of the panic attack. And I watched my heart rate go to 120 to 140 to 180 to 200. And as I'm watching it going up, I'm panicking even more because I'm thinking my heart rate is going up and I can't breathe and I'm going to die. And the doctors are like, you need to calm down. They turned off the heart machine, my blood pressure machine. They turned it off because I was panicking so much from seeing it. They got me right away, settled down, gave me a steroid inhaler, and I calmed down. And it's a weird state because I used to meditate a lot when I was in the Marines. One of the things I do when I put myself in a different place is to think about a TV show, namely The Family Guy. If anybody's ever seen Family Guy, I love Peter Griffin.
Now,
I love it. So what I do is I think of some of, and I've seen them all. I've seen all the episodes. I will think about episodes of Family Guy in my head, and as I'm focusing on that and concentrating on that, it calms me down. Going into a family relationship, now that I'm a little bit, I've lost body fat. I'm focusing on more on health and wellness. I haven't had a panic attack in probably 5 years. So, but unfortunately, my daughter has anxiety. She's has anxiety and panic attacks now. So I tried to tell her to go to a good place, and in your head, if you could go to just put yourself in a different place and focus on that. But it's tougher for her because I had my panic attacks in my 30s, and she's having hers at 14 and 15. So we went to the doctor to talk about her anxiety and panic attacks and what's going on, and the doctor prescribed her with an app called Calm. And Calm is an app that allows you to focus more on meditation. It helps you meditate. It's an excellent app. We didn't have to pay for it because it was prescribed to us, but most of the time I think it's like $60 if you want to get it. But it's something I highly recommend getting for you if you are in a space where you have stress, lack of sleep, panic attacks, or just something that you want to do to focus more on meditating and getting a better mental life, or better mental clarity, where you can take yourself away from the stress of everyday life. So Calm, this app Calm, you could have. There's different factors that come in this app. They do stories. Sorry, I got the party going on in the back. They do stories. You can actually have bedtime stories that they'll tell you a bedtime story while you go to sleep or lay down or just sit in a relaxing state. They'll have people read you a story. They have sounds like waterfalls, nature sounds. They have music, like meditative music. Like they'll do chimes and bells, monks and stuff like that. It's a bunch of different things, and you can pick what you are looking looking to? Are you looking to go to sleep? Are you looking to relieve stress? Are you looking to just meditate? What are you looking to do? And they'll recommend things for you to do. So, for those of you who may be having a problem with panic attacks, with anxiety, with trying to get a better mental clarity and better meditation in your life, go to Calm and get the app. Go to your doctor, see if they can prescribe the app to you if you're seeing a psychiatrist or something like that. But if you need somewhere to go to just get away from it all, go to Calm.
And don't have kids.
That was awesome.
Why is a hamster?
That was like borderline with the Chappelle show when they're like, "Don't bring your kids."
Do they bite?
Smoke some crack, yo!
Do they bite?
No, but honestly, that's all fantastic. I gotta tell you, meditation until about 12-ish years ago, which is a great resource introduced to me by one of my martial arts instructors, one of our in the past, in accordance with some books that I read, and I think really is an invaluable resource. You could say finding balance, and I like to put it under the overarching statement of getting your shit together. So yeah, I'm a big fan, and I've heard other people say really great things about the Calm app. So I think that's a great introduction.
Yeah, she uses it. She says it really helps calm her down when she needs to get that extra bit of help. She's still not to the point yet where she can just think about a Family Guy episode, but if she focuses on something else, it helps her to bring that stress level down, get that blood pressure down.
Yeah, I heard that. For those of you that are, maybe anxiety or a panic attack is a new thing for you. I remember that wasn't something that really ever entered my life a long time. And it was when it started to happen, it was such a rare occurrence. Kind of this chalked up to, did I eat something weird, or just am I not breathing properly? I just remember coming home from work, and I must have been, I don't know, 28, 29 years old, and just kind of felt overwhelmed. And I was taking a shower after I came home, and I'm like, dude, is the room spinning right now? Like, I'd never experienced anything like vertigo before. And I know it didn't last for a terribly long time, but it was long enough for me to pay attention to it and be concerned, like, what the fuck just happened? And I didn't necessarily have an experience like that for maybe several years later. And then I was talking with friends that were talking about that shared experience, and it's definitely something to pay attention to and not to ignore. Red flags of maybe there's a little bit too much going on in life, and the meditation is a really I think an invaluable tool. And how there's no way life gets easier. Like you get up tomorrow and all of a sudden all your problems are solved and there's no troubles for you. But it really is something to help you keep you centered and to let out some of those anxious feelings and whatnot. So it's a great tool.
Absolutely. One of the things my ex-wife, my daughter's mom, doesn't believe in medication. She doesn't want to do the Prozac. She doesn't want to do, any of those things that could be medicine to you to calm you down. So doing the Calm app is a natural way to try to help you relieve that stress.
In this moment, but I'm really glad you brought that up. When it comes to medication for dealing with depression, anxiety, and that kind of stuff, when you're dealing with something in a very extreme case, maybe you were battling something for a decade, or maybe I'm exaggerating with the time frame right now, but you're having an extreme case and you're just trying to get back to zero so you can begin to manage your stuff. I try not to be too judgmental on something like that, because when I was younger, I was that way, and then I learned more. It's amazing, like reading books, having conversations with people. Not everybody's Bill Marine. So
exactly.
Or to have like being in the Marine Corps, or like when the time I've spent growing up in dojos where like Jake talked about on our very first episode, you have support for people that are encouraging you to be strong and deal with stuff. Not everybody, I guess for you and myself, that's very much a big equivalent of having a properly educated and strong family, which these days most people, in my opinion, don't have. So those of you that do have, but you're very well blessed. But whether it's medication or learning a skill set, a little later in life that you weren't aware of, these things can all come in a box that can help get you back on track. And it's really just a matter. It's just we all get up another day. We all keep moving forward, and we all just learn some new stuff to help us move us along that path. And meditation, I think, is a big one. It's a
100%. And again, for any of you who are experiencing, like Mark said, anybody who are new to this or maybe experiencing this problem, and maybe you're like, you know what, meditation doesn't work for me or whatever. If you're having an issue with mental health, talk to someone. Don't bottle it up. Do not keep it inside. I've known people who are known to cut themselves. I've known people who are known to do things to their body. It's just talk to somebody. Do not be embarrassed. Let somebody know, whether it be your parents, your spouse, your siblings, a friend, a doctor, somebody. Talk to somebody if you're having those issues. Please, your life is worth more than you know.
I've spent so much time with there's people in the restaurant business, the martial arts community, or online forums, which I never thought I would say. That's a recent thing for me over these last year or so, that have made such a great impact on other people's lives. And I'll encourage anyone that's listening that comes across this eventually, that the struggle you're going gateway to you helping someone else in the future. All these troubles, no matter how difficult it may seem, you will be the light in someone else's darkest day at some point in the future. Trust me. And it will surprise the shit out of you the way it surprised me and Jeff, and those are wonderful surprises to have as you come out the other end of certain things. So it's pretty cool. So to just stick it out. Meditate, number one. All right, so as we're moving on from the Calm app, we're going to segue into, we picked up, and Jeff and I have been chatting about and sharing within the group of the Resoluters on Facebook, different video casts from a great physical trainer, Jeff Cavalieri. He was the physical trainer of the New York Mets. He's a certified strength and conditioning specialist by the National Strength and Conditioning Association. I want to kind of walk through this really great morning routine that I observed from him that he put together on YouTube. I kind of want to go through this. It doesn't take a lot of time, but we'll go through a few chapters of what he's got going on. Stretching and certain mobility exercises, I think, that he demonstrates here are so key to building a great routine and to keeping yourself in a good place.
My favorite thing to do is stretch, man. I tell you what, I wake up every day and I love a good stretch.
Boom, I concur. And there's a lot of ins and outs and what have yous and things. There's things over time and experience that Jeff and I have built into our weight training routines that incorporate stretching. Maybe it's not sometimes in ways that we didn't expect. Which is kind of nice. But all that being said, to Mr. Cavalieri. So I'm going to share through the beginning of one of his segments. And his company is called Athlean X. In my opinion, he is one of the best online sources that's on the planet right now. Him and his wife put together a great business based out of San Diego, factually based. They keep it fun here and there with some of the. If you're following their pages on Instagram or Facebook, then they get kind of silly sometimes. But it's really just kind of to break up how brainy these two get with what they got working on. So I'm gonna start sharing the screen here and get things moving. And so we can have a good chat about what's going on.
AthleanX.com. I'm going to show you something to do every single morning. Promise. If you do this, it's going to help you a lot. You're going to improve your posture. You're going to improve your grip strength. You're going to improve your abs. You'll also have a little bit of an indicator of where you're and we can do this every day. You guys know I've shared before. I drink water. I try to get at least
There's Jeff singing your song right there.
Room temperature now, so it's easier for me to drink, and it sets me off on the right foot. Right? I think it's very, very important. You are dehydrated when you wake up. There's no two ways about it. Unless you're getting up in the middle of the night to drink water, which a lot of us don't do, you're going to be dehydrated. It's your great opportunity here to make a habit of drinking water in first thing of the day. But then we kind of take this all-important stop here as I walk through the bathroom bar that I have from my closet. Now, it gives me a 1 minute opportunity 2 times to get something really important done. The first thing I want to try to decompress my spine. So what I do is I just grab and then drop my pelvis, right? So my toes can be in contact with the ground here. I'm not advising it, very, very lightly though. But when I do that and I drop, my pelvis here, I'm able to decompress that lumbar spine. You can literally feel the pelvis drop, okay, and the weight of this drop, which allows those spinal segments to decompress. So it should feel better through there. But
All right, I want to chat on this real quick. Jeff, you ever done this, even if you don't have the pull-up bar, you know,
Daily.
you got a beam out on your patio or something like that. There's really, this is one of the reasons I used to look forward to going to my brother's in Southern California, because he had these beams out on his patio, and I would hang off this thing like a freaking gorilla. And oh my God, my back felt so good. And those of you guys that have any kind of back strain yourself, and you have that recovery period, which takes for, to make yourself feel good, this is really a great move.
Yeah.
Jeff,
I do this
chime in. Like what?
Yeah, I do this a lot at work too. When I'm walking around, I do a lot of steps at work, walking around. And then while I'm in, your back starts hurting while you're walking and standing and moving and lifting things. So I'll just grab onto the rafters at work too, at the racking systems, and I'll do this. I'll just drop my pelvis and just hang there, and that it works wonders. It really does. I do a lot of bending over too and trying to touch my toes, but this feels great.
That's awesome. Cool. Thanks for that, because I'm glad to hear that. I'm not a lunatic. So we're all chiming on that.
No, as soon as he said it, I'm like, oh, I love this one.
Yeah. I mean, it just feels good, and it keeps you in a situation where you're building on the success of your mobility, which is the foundation for everything else. Cool.
Second thing is, I'm able to get extension here to my thoracic spine, because that mid-back area, right, is the area that we always sit hunched over throughout the day. This is our chance to always get good extension every single day for at least a minute to start off the day. And it's the cumulative effect that has the biggest impact when you do this. And I try to even reach my head through here to reinforce as much as I can through that area. Okay, and obviously just in the bar for a minute is going to have that cumulative effect of actually working our forearm and our grip strength. Now, I indicated before how that could be a sort of a sign, an early sign of whether or not you might be doing too much, trying yourself out with your training. If your grip strength is not where it needs to be, and you start to lose strength during these 2 1-minute sessions, it's probably an indicator that you might be kind of tiring out a little bit. But next we want to go immediately, as soon as we're done, is we turn right around, and now we turn this into an ab exercise. And you really just have to hang. I mentioned before, when I had my hernia, one of the hardest things I could do to get myself back on track was actually just hang from a bar, because one of the biggest things I'm responsible for, what we do is just hollow out in here and just hold. Now this time though, for my arms, instead of just dropping down, I want to get a little bit of stability, pull down through the shoulder blades, so I get some scapular stability too, which is another thing I think we kind of lose sight of, developing those muscles in the back. So I hold it. So I've got 1 minute holding with the purpose of decompressing, 1 minute of holding to actually work on the abs. The cumulative effect, knowing that the 2 1-minute holds are actually going to help us build our forearm strength and our forearms in general, and also have an indicator of where we might be. So it's such a short, quick little routine, and it's so easy to do. All you need is just that pull-up bar, and to remember to start making some new habits that are good habits for the long term. If you're looking for a program that sets you off on the right track to having really good habits, that's what we do with the AthleanX program. I it out step by step so you don't miss a step. You get into a habit, it's a lifestyle, and you start making huge changes in your body. That's over at athleanx.com. In the meantime, if you found this video helpful, leave your comments.
Very cool. Hey, my nephew Mike, real quick, because he's the one that turned me on to AthleanX. It's been more than a minute ago, and it's been nothing but a great advantage of getting these little. So yeah, I was so happy when he gave the little chime in for the hernia deal. I came full circle with that whole deal.
Sure did. I haven't been able to do that in a while because of my hernia, but that's what I used to. One of my big things in the Marine Corps, when I used to do pull-ups, I would train myself to kick my legs out and do pull-ups with my legs and my body in an L shape, legs out, and that's how I would do pull-ups.
That's
to
an
work the abs at the same time.
Yeah, man, that's an advanced workout. The legs
Can't do that anymore.
Well, I mean, it's a very form sensitive thing, so that's definitely not a beginner's topic. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. So great shout out to Jeff Cavallari. This coming up in this next week, this particular week, just to share results, a couple things I haven't weighed in yet. Weigh in for me will be not until Tuesday, or more likely Wednesday of this upcoming week, or that we're walking into. But for me, it's been nice. I just on the cutting back on gluten, maintaining my routine that I've been doing as far as working out. It's been nice, like going into work and having my suits. Like I was able to barely, or on certain days, if I ate the wrong thing, I couldn't button my suit jackets again, which I was so excited about to be wearing. Well, both of those suit jackets are now loose. I had some jeans that just fit just right. That was nice. That after losing the weight from our last challenge, I was happy to still be able to get into, and those are becoming looser this week. A win that I've been excited about. For me, I think the ticket to keep moving forward, as far as our plan, is to again to maintain, to minimize or eliminate alcohol for the next week. I don't necessarily have anything coming up to think that I'm going to have to imbibe. Nothing necessarily crazy going on with that in a imbibe holiday. But my daughter and I, she's cooking for me. Kai is cooking for me. I'm so excited. We're doing a healthy Thanksgiving, so I doubt we'll be drinking, but I think that's going to be helpful. But
yeah, I'm going on.
What do you got? What do you got?
Well, I'm going to weigh in on Wednesday before I go on my cruise, and then we're going to be going to Disney World, Universal, Florida, and on the cruise to the Bahamas. So I will probably be imbibing in some.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. We're leaving on Thanksgiving Day, so I will not be having a Thanksgiving feast. But on the cruise, I'm sure I will be partaking in some bad habits. But I just got to remember to
it's your
eat right, do it right.
This is your vacation. You definitely got to have a great time.
I'm gonna be walking throughout Disney World, so I'll get my steps in for sure.
There you go. Oh my God, absolutely.
And then on the cruise, I mean, there's things to do up on the cruise. They have a gym. They have a miniature golf course. They have swimming. They have a whole bunch of things we could do. So while I'm partaking in fun, I'll also be partaking in some trying to keep it healthy as we do it too.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
it's good to have an active vacation with the kids and everything.
Yeah, one of the things I've done this week, as far as my health wise, I was a little under the weather on Monday and Tuesday, so I didn't get a workout in. But got some working out in on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, starting to feel a little bit better. But one of the things I've been doing is trying to push my fasting until 1:00, if not later. I'm working on it. And like we said, baby steps, right? We're trying to get it all at a time. And I've switched my shakes to evening. Like I said, I've switched the shakes to the evening. So I'm not really doing much for breakfast. Maybe a granola bar, maybe something that get a little bit of energy in me. But as far as not eating a lot for breakfast. And,
I'm glad you brought that up because I forgot. I've done the same thing, but putting the shakes at the end of the day. I had to set like an alarm clock for myself and my kind of self. Okay, you had enough like food through the day, right? I set that alarm clock to remind myself that I'm going to put together the shake at the end of the day. So I don't otherwise get my mind set on, okay, what am I going to have when I get home? What am I going to cook? Do I really want to cook? Do I want to get fast food? Because it's way better than having to make something. But the shake has been a big help. Glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
You mentioned you're going on your trip, and I have these things sitting next to me, and I usually just go into the gym, but if I'm in a rush, I'll try to use these, especially for biceps and back. But these bands,
The bands.
yeah. Again, Mike, my nephew, referred these to me a minute ago, and I ended up, I don't know what, some video I watched on YouTube, like our shit. Somebody who talks about this stuff, and this looks like I'm holding a bunch of taffy, like I pulled out of a bag of candy. This is great. I mean,
Resistance.
I can do a chest workout right here. But these things are great for when you're on the road going in the hotel.
It's a great idea. I'm gonna have to look into getting some of those.
Yes, sir. And then for this upcoming week, to kind of level myself up, I'm going to be working the push-up board back into the routine, which I have not added back in until now. And likewise, some core training for me, because although my injury is healed, I still have some tenderness in my lower back. If, like when you were talking about a moment ago about when you're on your feet a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So hip raisins and planks are making their way back into my routine for this upcoming week.
That reminds me, one of the things I've been doing with push-ups is using my dumbbells now. I put the dumbbells in the carrier and using that as kind of a push-up.
That's awesome.
Yes.
No, that's great. Because
I just thought about it the other day. I was like, why do I do that?
That's fantastic. And that will work, a more complete circuit for your body when you're doing push-ups. But I like to do the dumbbell, when you hold your fist like that, when you're doing your push-ups with the dumbbells, doing that dumbbell, that hits the top of your core. So you get a little extra total body workout when you do it
this way instead of doing it. Yeah, look at you. There we go.
Yeah, no, that's great. And that works the same way with the push-ups. That's how the push-up board works that you and I discussed. Every time you change your hand in a different direction, slightly different muscle group outside of your immediate pectoral. So that's awesome. That's a great way to have a total body workout.
Bitchin'.
All right, buddy. Well, I think that's all we got for tonight. We didn't pull a musical guest tonight. The Chris Green Project is still recording in the studio tomorrow, if I'm remembering right. So we should have that. And that being said, just being a fan of the 80s, I see we go. Autograph put out a new album, and I'm just like, turn up the radio, fucking Autograph. What?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, right. I just dude, I don't know if those guys have had an album since the 80s. I really don't know. Not that I heard of. So I thought it'd be fun to kind of close out the show to them.
That's perfect.
Call it a day. All right. So let's see what we can do. I'm going to get back onto the share screen. We're going to have a little, 80s nostalgia. And we're going to be off and running.
This is totally
God, I wonder how fucking old it is.
I just want to jump into El Camino.
Oh, man. Awesome. Formed in 1983.
We were
Spark the plug, ignite your soul, avoid a dead end. Desperate minds, foolish lies. We gotta find a way out of this stray. Aggravating, devastating. When the damage done, the cause is lost forever. Persuading,
Sing it with us.
moving mountains, breaking roads together. To be together. To be together.
I said drive up to the school with straight people. That's what I want to do. Drive up to the school and just hop in my car.
Foolish lies. We gotta find a way out of this tragedy. Aggravating, devastating. When the damage done, the cause is lost forever. Persuading, moving mountains, breaking rules to be together. Be together.
That was fun. Yeah, why not?
Absolutely, dude.
Well, buddy, it was a fun show. I got to cover some shit.
Yeah.
Stay great vacation.
Bye, Jeff.
Thanks, buddy. I will be back in 2 weeks. We'll do this again in 2 weeks.
Absolutely. And then we'll chat more soon.
Sounds good, brother. Good to talk to you.
You too.
Bye,
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Hashtag ever
My kids all
forward.
say good
They'll
night.
do a good job. Good night, Amber.
Oh, she's gone.
Okay. Yeah, when she watches it.
She's watching though.
Don't want her to tire
Good night,
out.
all. Bye.
Good night, guys. Bye.